I suppose it depends who you ask. Do you think if the whole world turned into a bartering society run by actual products and trading instead of money, that there would be no war?
Hmm. Hmm. So I'll have to retype myself from ENTP to INTP. Any? Alright.
I have no idea.
After half a
But
year.
you do seem to have more of an INTP demeanor. Like, for example, I've never heard you yell, which is a pretty good sign.
Shit. I mean, why the fuck would I yell? That doesn't accomplish anything.
Yeah, that's a pretty INTP thing to say.
Shit.
It's not that they yell on purpose anyway, they just get excited. And you don't seem to excite very easily.
Because I have bad experience with being excited. I was like, I'll ace this shit. Easy as fuck. I didn't ace that shit. It wasn't easy as fuck. I fucking failed. So after a certain point, I've just decided to stop giving so many fucks. I don't know.
I hardly see any difference between the two types. It's easy to, you can be an ENTP and not lose your shit, like Audra, for example.
I like being compared with Audra.
Yeah, I think she's a pretty well ascended ENTP. She's got her shit together.
Yeah, jealous.
Yeah. But yeah, you can still see it. You can see the energy bubbling up in her sometimes. And that's not something you usually ever see in an INTP. However, she doesn't really see the need to raise her voice. But I think that has more to do with maturity.
So, shit. So I don't have an excuse why I'm not on Harvard yet studying the next quantum theory. Damn.
No, Eric is pretty immature. I thought we were all agreed on that.
I thought that was pretty obvious. Even with my inferior FE.
I mean, he has a powerful mind, but he's definitely not very mature.
So after about a year of fucking ENTP, now I'm suddenly INTP. I mean, I've considered it. Shit. Damn it. I can't be an INTP. No. I mean, that'll totally mess up my scheme. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I've already got there. But hold on. All right. There's like also. Fuck off.
God, Elsie, it would take me like an entire year to grow an actual beard, maybe more.
Totally worth it just for the spite though. Well, Chloe, what creatures that are not humans
Yeah,
enjoy something that has value?
I was gonna ask this the same thing.
No creatures have value because, realistically speaking, if the sun were to implode on itself, then it would suck up all life that were to exist, and nothing would really count. Life is just a meaningless thing that we should enjoy while we have it. But other than that, it holds no actual merit in space or time or anything.
Humans just do what they do, and I don't know if you can find any rational way to judge what we do as objectively good or bad.
There is no objective judgment. Okay. It just is like the nature of human beings. But in the end, if the sun were to implode on itself, or if a meteor were to hit the Earth, none of it would fucking matter anyway. So
there you go. Nothing has any meaning.
Yep.
Now you're where I'm at. Congratulations.
Oh. I mean, I was there a year before.
No, I've reached this point before. It's like nothing new to me.
All right. Fuck.
Nihilism party.
Wait, what?
Well, that's of course you believe in God, and then what we would perceive.
What didn't you hear an ENTP say? I want to jerk myself off.
Maybe if like you believe in God or something, you would perceive it as like and then have some sort of idealistic hope about it. But hope is just lost in the world because it's just a chemical reaction in the brain, and that's all it is.
I mean, it's 2 a.m. My sister's sleeping in the next room, and she's an INFJ. So I have to be really careful on what I say and how loud I am.
Why?
I think that human beings cannot know the value of life. I think it's a subjective thing. We like to think we know the value, but really we like to fool ourselves into thinking that we know something we don't. I don't think any of us really have any inherent value or no value and live. We just live.
I mean,
So
my brother's an INFJ, and he's a complete pushover. He never steps on anyone's toes. He's never remotely aggressive. You never have to worry about pissing him off. He's always completely reasonable and gets along with everybody.
I don't think he gets along with everybody. I think that's your perception of it.
Well, unless they're politically conservative in an outspoken way. But that's because he just went to art school, so I don't blame him.
I think that just because you go to art school and you're an INFJ doesn't mean that you have it that easily. I think that's a myopic viewpoint of it. I don't think.
Well, no, what I'm saying is he has been surrounded by people who wholeheartedly adopt a very socially liberal viewpoint, and that's had a lot of influence him in the past few years. And
I don't know.
It's hard for him to see the merit of any opposing viewpoints at the moment.
I think that you'd have to be him to understand what it's like to be him, and I don't think.
Well, I know. I'm not claiming that everything I'm saying is right. I'm just making the observations that I can make.
Yeah, well, your observations are not. I don't know. I'd like to challenge them to some extent, but.
I mean, he literally still won't talk to my mom's boyfriend because he voted for Donald Trump. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's obviously not a mature viewpoint to have. And over time, he will change.
But I think that, yeah. I just think that there are some things in our society that maybe can be prevented if we all work together. But I think that because there's a lot of manipulation at play, we are fooled by that.
And he thinks that anyone who voted for Donald Trump indirectly supports rape.
I don't really agree with that, but
yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's got a hyper liberal viewpoint at the moment, and he didn't have that before he went to college. That's what I'm saying.
What are your viewpoints on the argument based on what I presented today?
Which argument? I think
all of the arguments. All of the arguments. Do you think I'm just a typical libtard that just argues online that's a feminazi or?
No, you seem to have a fairly balanced viewpoint. Yeah, although you do seem to have liberal leanings, but I don't see any problem with that. You generally seem to have an objective viewpoint.
I try to be objective, but I try not to.
And I'm not even claiming that my brother is a quote-unquote libtard. I'm just saying that.
Oh, no. I
had a lot of heavy liberal influences as of late, and that has skewed his, viewpoint a little bit.
I guess the thing is that I get frustrated when I try to explain something that is like an eternal. It's really difficult to actually try to explain FI because it's like FI is so challenging to explain. It's on the basis of morality. It's on the basis of a pure value system that's based on inadvertently SI, which is actually my weakest function. But it's like, I don't know, just all kind of hand in hand. And it's just like, I don't know how to explain it to anybody.
Chloe, your weakest function is TI, which is your polar, which is 7th.
No, like, yeah, that's considering, like, the shadow functions, but I'm talking about, like, in the original functions. Like, I mean, you got any FI, TE, and SI. I was referring to SI being the bottom one. So that's, like, closer to, like, the shadow functions, but not necessarily being the shadow functions. Still with it.
Closer to the unconscious as
Yeah.
well. So not weak exactly, just less controlled.
It kind of seems challenging when I'm confronted with SI as of current in my life, but maybe that's how developed I am or how healthy I am. Because you can be a really unhealthy type and come at odds with, your, I don't know, other functions.
I'm not sure I like the idea of unhealthy types. Unhealthy people seems more correct.
Nah, unhealthy types because there's like a bad correlation of functions at play.
And I think it ties into unhealthy people, but unhealthy people can represent unhealthy types because they can kind of go hand in hand. It's like a dance. So, but then would you be perpetuating more MBTI? No, because you're not perpetuating the idea that you're an unhealthy person who is unhealthily using your functions. And that can tie into different things as well. There's a lot of depth to it. There isn't just like one thing.
No shit. Shit, fuck. How do I make a poll? Like, poll and shit.
On here?
No, like, generally speaking, how do I make a poll? Oh, sorry. On Facebook. Nah, I got it. Never mind.
Prone to meaning that is the norm.
Yeah. But I think, like when one type is anxious, they can demonstrate it in a very different way from when another type is anxious, I guess. Not all people respond to that sort of thing in the same way. Yeah, Ash, can you just be the next Hitler? I don't care what your type is.
Fine.
9. I don't know. Maybe you're just an ENTP, but you're a TI subtype.
Yeah, I know.
Right? How do you tell the difference between an ENTP TI subtype and an INTP NE subtype?
I don't know. That's
They're pretty mighty similar.
You could look at their role functions first.
Introverted energy. How do you describe introverted energy? I mean, because nobody pissed me off, and pissing off is fucking useless. Unless you want something done, of course. Or you want to...
Yeah, ENTPs can be chill.
I mean, Eric is immature and Taylor is an adult 8 winning 7.
Well,
Which does
Taylor's
works.
probably not even an ENTP. I still maintain that.
He said that he used to say as much shit as me, but he eventually learned that he cannot say shit out loud. I don't know.
What's that supposed to mean?
That he was like overthinking shit like me, but then he decided not to. And over the years, he kinda like used any purposefully, like in the outside world instead, and done shit with it.
Well, that makes a certain sense. Especially if he's a type 8.
So he's like, he's been there before on the like NTP theoretical kind of pondering around, but then he like decided not to, and kind of used any to dominate other people in a sort of way.
That still sounds like SE to me.
Yeah, but he was like, I don't know.
I think he's just an ESTP with like decently developed intuition.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, this got me a bit confused.
Yeah, I think Ace is an ESTP too. And, you know, they're both currently identified as ENTPs, but
So no,
I think people
what you're
confuse SE for any a lot.
So what you're basically saying is that there are no actual ENTPs, everybody's just a mistype.
No.
So
I
who's
just think
like
those,
a legend?
I think those two people are mistyped.
Free.
Three?
Well, not directly you, but FKI thinks that I'm an INTP.
I don't know if you're an INTP or an ENTP. I can't really determine that either way, but
I have my clear days, and this is not one of them.
I think there is a shitload of supposed ENTPs in here, and I don't think every single one of them is an ENTP. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. I mean, to an ENTP, everybody else is an ENTP, and la-di-da.
Yeah. Honestly, Kit Kat's younger brother is like the perfect example of an ENTP.
Right.
They must drive each other insane.
Seriously.
See it in their faces when they're both on.
Yep.
But I think Kit Kat is actually his supervisor in socionics, which would make sense, I suppose.
I don't know. I've done like I'm not really precise, as an ENTP would be. I just want to get the core idea kinda to abuse the fuck out of it, so I have something to do with my life.
Who's in room 1?
Quite a few people. Not many on the camera.
So we have 2 communities now. Interesting.
For a while, room 2 seemed to be the room for introverts.
Oh, well, that makes me an INTP.
But then it changed. It kind of caught on. And I think people just use it as 2 separate spaces now.
I mean, I just have to catch a flow and I just go along with it. I don't really care if it's extrovert, introvert, as long as something's happening.
Well, this has always been the plan, right? One room for
Fortnite.
tons of
Spacey?
I
Yeah.
think he may have disconnected.
Oh. Maybe he's reconnecting or something.
Mhm.
Who are the 2 Loki blankies?
I guess it's bugging out. Any idea what happened?
Yeah, I mean, I think this works well to have one room loaded with people, everyone talking over each other, and extroverts can chill in there or whatever, and then we always end up with another room with less people in it who are having like a more streamlined conversation. So it's effectively the extrovert-introvert dichotomy.
I think last night somebody was talking about the maximum number of people in a conversation before it gets too complicated was 5 or 6 people.
It's hard to have a linear discussion with like 12 people.
What up?
Hey.
Hey.
Hey. So how's everybody doing tonight?
We were just talking about the nature of the rooms and why people decide to be in one room or the other.
Interesting.
So why are you here?
I don't know. I just figured I'd say hi. I don't really come in very often anymore.
Why do you think that is?
I'm just really busy, I think mostly. But I was actually troubleshooting some problems with the room a little bit earlier, so I guess that just was on my mind.
Well, it's good to know that you're keeping yourself busy.
Well, I just work all the time and I have a new girlfriend, so that takes up a lot of my free time.
Sounds good.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I can't hear you guys over room 1, so I just left.
Kind of crazy being in 2 rooms at once.
Yeah, but I mean... Oh. Do you hear me now?
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Is there like any annoying sound?
Not really.
Just you.
I mean, yeah, you're kind of annoying, but that's okay.
Alright.
Who is this? Is this Tiff?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Tiff. What's up?
What's up, man?
Not much, man.
Man.
I mean, people say I look around places a lot when I'm trying to come up with a thought. So that's rather what an ENTP would do.
Well, I think an INTP will do that too, though. Like any user will have a tendency to like do this sort of thing when they're trying to come up with the right words for something, you know.
Yeah, but they like criticize me for it the most.
But INTPs do have that characteristic, like blank stare into space.
I might have that. Maybe I was an ENTP before, but I've decided to kind of get away from people, and from that point on, I've developed my introverted thinking, and I'm an INTP, 100%.
I really don't know if it works like that.
Yeah,
I really
I
don't
think it
does
does.
either.
It doesn't. Maybe. I
You're
don't know.
probably just a TI subtype. There you go.
I think probably though. I mean, since like ENTPs and INTPs essentially have the same stack, just in a different order. Probably like as they get older and develop their various cognitive functions more, they probably seem more similar than they do at a younger age.
Yeah, but I'm a
That's what
younger
I said.
age.
He is like, well, you're like what, 16 or 17?
Not even that.
Oh wow.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Please tell me you're at least 13.
No, I'm 15.
15. Yeah.
I said at least 13, so it's good.
Yeah. Alright.
Like, there could be legal issues if we have kids under 13 coming here, especially considering we have no like
I mean,
disclaimer.
comparing him to Kit Kat's younger brother, who is like at least his age, I'd have to say he's an INTP, but
If he were an ENTP, he'd be on camera.
well, there's that too.
Alright.
I mean, you do demonstrate a lot of introverted behavior, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything.
Kit Kat's
Like.
brother could be quiet as well. In fact, he was
Yeah,
far
he's
more
still
quiet than-
usually on
He
camera.
can be, but yeah, he's almost always on camera, and he can be really obnoxious like half the time.
I don't have a camera.
That's a potential excuse. If
Alright.
you are an ENTP, I believe you, because if you did have a camera and you were an ENTP, you'd probably be on it. Whereas if an INTP said they didn't have a camera, I'd tend to not believe them because I think it was an excuse to not be on camera.
Yeah.
I mean, my headphones are half broken. Only the right ear works, and I'm potentially talking with a microphone I bought for a catfish that didn't arrive, so I'm basically living off of the things that were broken yesterday.
Yeah, I usually can't go very long with like a pair of broken headphones or something like that. Like, I'd either try to fix them, or if I couldn't fix them, I'd just buy new ones. But if I can make a suggestion, never buy a headset again. Just get a decent pair of headphones that won't break. Ideally, ones like this.
Right.
What were you trying to demonstrate there?
This detaches from the headphones so that it doesn't strain the cord, so that it doesn't break, and you generally won't have that issue where like one of the earpieces goes out or something like that. But I would recommend buying separate headphones and a mic because they'll last longer. Headsets break all the time. At least if you're like me.
Yeah, I don't know. I should very, very, very likely be an ENTP, but I might be biased.
Yeah, I've broken so many headsets.
Have to pay for the quality.
Yep. Like, these were like between $200 and $300, and they were like refurbished. Man, do I love them. And now I have a mic that will never break. And that was only like $50.
Never say never.
I don't know. This Blue Yeti ice thing is like sturdy as fuck.
Oh my god, there's a video of a big Labrador carrying around a tiny little dog in a bucket. Adorable.
Labradors are the shit. I love labs.
Actually, I don't know if it's a Labrador, but it's definitely got Labrador in it. It might be a cross. But it's adorable.
My friend's got like a pit bull Labrador mix. It's a pretty bitchin' dog.
Sounds pretty bitchin'. I love pit bulls. As long as they're not like I don't like the ones that are all like like so like big that their legs kind of go like that.
They're really like stubby
like
legs.
that. Yeah, I don't like that. But when they just kind of look.
We have like this retarded pit bull. He's so dumb, and he scares the shit out of people. But he's really pretty harmless.
Are you sure he's not just playing dumb?
No, he's not just playing dumb. He literally just bangs his head into shit while he walks around. And while we walk him, like he constantly tugs at the leash and chokes himself. And never stops.
So he's not stupid then, he's dominant. Hence why he probably wouldn't listen to you.
He seems to demonstrate a lot of stupidity. I mean, you'd think it would be in his interest to not tug at the leash if he's constantly choking himself and crushing his own windpipe. But
What is it?
Someone is making a lot of noise with their microphone. I'm guessing it's Ash.
Probably.
Say. Hello?
hey,
Oh. Stop playing with the microphone, but it's fine.
yeah, there's just a lot of static. All right, I'm gonna go dive into room 1.
Yeah, I'm boring myself as well. I better head on over.
It's just you and me, Ash.
Do you hear something now? I just have to do that from time to time. I'm trying to re-evaluate what you've said. Oh, oh, really? Oh, oh, that explains a lot. Well, shit. So you prefer things to be more blah blah blah. Do you think you judge first or do you perceive first? I like. I prefer to see things first. Like, if there's going to happen a car crash, I want to see it happen. My answer. I to know it. I'm rather spontaneous. I remember this super awesome fucking. Yeah, it's a broken piece of fucking shit. Does it work? Yeah, it's banging. It works. Now it's banging. But yeah, that happens to me. Probably the source of my fucking enormous paranoia. Either way, I remember kinda. Fucking hell. Hello? Hello? Right. So. Right. So I remember this. I remember this experience, which kinda proves me otherwise. Like, I wasn't sure if I was an ENTP or INTP there for a second. Happens to me from time to time. But basically, I've had this experience where we've had to do something, and I knew that the teacher didn't like it because she didn't listen thoroughly and was fucking biased and hated me. So what I've done the next time, instead of letting my friend ENTJ friend go right off the bat, I've told him to shut up about 3 times as he was trying to start, and everybody like stared at our group for 2 minutes, and I was just like looking at the piece of paper, trying to see what was on it, and as soon as I picked up the core idea of the project, I've instantly improvised the whole situation out without me even realizing how good it was done. And yeah, I've just improvised my way through. Even though we weren't graded good on it the hour before, I've literally had the same amount of things. Just got better grades and shit. Hooray. Well, I've never, I mean, I prosper without planning.